Welcome. So you're probably wondering what's the latest with the Arduino project. And this kit, I don't think I told you where I got it from, but there it is. I got it from Amazon, but this is the arduino.org/starter kit, apparently. So what is the latest with Arduino? Well, number one, I sleep with Arduino. Yes. I didn't mean for that to have sort of a sexual connotation, but anyway, I I was working with the Arduino in my bed last night. So anyway, TMI. The original starter kit features 15 simple projects that show you how to use Arduino to turn an idea into reality. Anyway, let's stay focused. So, I found out that the reason why I had an issue with my project that I was doing. So I did the blink project where you make the onboard LED blink. That was fine, no big deal. Then I moved on to the faded project or fade project, which is supposed to do some kind of effect where it sort of a fade effect of some sort. And then I thought there was a problem with the code because it wasn't doing the fading thing. It was just blinking a couple times and then it would stop. So the question is, what was wrong? Then I did some research and found out that the project, even though it's a basic project, it actually has some instructions and some steps, and there's actually some basic assembly. I didn't think we were at assembly yet. I mean, we're doing assembly now, really? I thought we were just having a good time, man. We're just upload program. Look at the blinky light. Amazing. I'm a programmer now. Look, Ma. Right? I thought that's what we were doing, man. I thought we were just having a good time. And now come to find out that apparently we're not just having a good time. We're actually serious, and we're supposed to be building something, even though it's a very simple device, which apparently it's simple, but not simple enough for me because I didn't get it to work. But anyway, which requires some basic assembly, and it's just essentially, it is another blinky light, but the blinky light this time is this blinky light, which I'm supposed to put in the breadboard. I thought it was all the onboard blinky lights. So if you saw the previous project that I did, I think I'm too close for focus here. Focus. There we go. I think that's it. All right. So it's kind of hard to see, but there are LEDs built right into the board there. And that's what I did with the first project where it was blinking. And remember to always have fun. Anyway, but the second project, the Fate project, did some blinking, faster blinking, and more lights. I was like, all right, that's the new project. But I didn't see the fade effect. And the reason for that apparently is because, again, it's supposed to use an external LED, not just the built-in LED on the board. So I tried to do that, to try to do the basic assembly here, and it still doesn't work. I didn't get this light to light up at all. I tried a couple of different things. One of the things I ran into is a diagram that they're showing you, the schematic, doesn't really seem logical. I think I don't know, it's like it doesn't really make sense. Because, for example, first of all, one of the things I need to do is, I know I kind of jumped the gun on things. I need to do some homework on, I haven't worked on breadboards in 20 plus years, so I gotta get a refresher on how this even works, because I need to understand what's in this. Like right now, to me, this is just a plastic board with a bunch of holes in it. You know what I mean? I need to see or understand the circuits that are underneath. So what are the pathways is what I mean. What are the pathways of, and if you guys are listening and you know this, well, comment below, let me know. But what are the pathways here? I can make certain assumptions, but I'm just making assumptions. I see a line going down here. I see it says negative on that end, negative on that end. So I can assume that there's a whole strip here. So anything that I plug into any one of these holes in the first row will be connected to anything else that's connected to any of the other holes. So if I put a positive or negative, I mean, it says negative, it doesn't matter, right? That's just a guideline, right? If I put a positive, connection here, and I connect a wire here, I can get power from that connection. That's just an assumption. But that's the only thing I have to go on. The rest of this is all, there's no lines or diagrams or anything, so I don't know Based on the schematic for this project, it appeared to me that in here the circuits are I guess from your orientation vertical. So I don't think you can go from here to there, which is why one of the things we did is we did a jumper here. We see right there, see that little orange on top of my finger, jumping from the edge over there to in the middle. So obviously I don't think there's a path going that way, but I think within this section, right? See what my finger's on top of this entire section here, I believe power goes vertically. So anything connected here, if you're in the same line or same, let's say the same column. So if I connect something here in one column here, I can pass that power to anything in the same column, right? So just imagine that each column is like sort of a, I guess you could think of it simply. Each column, I'm assuming, is like a strip. Imagine that it's just a wire, right? All these little dots are just pathways for you to connect to the same wire, right? So each column is a wire. Wire, pants on fire. Anyway, so yeah, so I think that's how that works. And that logic seems to follow with, if you look at some of the circuitry that we put together here. Let me turn this around so we can see it a little bit better, perhaps, or maybe not. Let's see. Turn it this way. So if we look at the circuitry that we built here, and apparently I'm too close. Once again, you know what I should do? I should just zoom in. That's what I need to do. Let's zoom in. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. What happens when you actually use your brain. But anyway, so I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what I've built after the fact. I'm not trying to remember anything. I'm just going to look at what I see on the board and see what is happening here. So let's start with power. So on the board, you can see I've made some connections. You can see there it says ground, and that's the black wire. And you can see it says 5 volts, and that's the red wire, right? So let's start with the power. Let's start with the positive side of things. So 5 volts, we would assume, just thinking logically here, get introduced through the USB. So USB, you get USB power connected to the board, and there's somehow a circuit that goes from there to this pin, which pushes out 5 volts. So I presume, I don't know if that's the native voltage of the USB or there's resistance within this board that drops it to 5 volts, but regardless, 5 volts come out of here. And then it's going through the red wire. So let's see where the red wire goes. Red wire. So the red wire goes over here. I put it on the positive side of the board. Right? So now we've got power going in here. So if I was correct in my assumptions about how this board works, that means the positive power is going to go straight down that strip. So the entire strip is all lit up with positive power. The first row, right, where I plug this in. So this entire, all the way down that red line, right? So that means that there's positive 5 volts coming out of here to this orange wire. So where does this orange wire go? So where's the positive power going? So that goes across the board over to the other side. So there you go. The other side where it says positive again, right? So assuming my assumptions were correct, that means I've lit up this entire second row here. So this whole thing where the red line is all positive. And as you can see, it goes nowhere. So that was part of the pointless thing I think I remember right now from the diagram. There in the diagram, it was showing these wires at the end here, which went from one corner to the next, and then it was like, what's the point of this? There's nothing down there. Why is that in the schematic? I don't know. I just did it because I'm like, okay, this thing's not working, and I see extra wires. They don't make any sense to me, but it's in the schematic, so let's just do it. Let's do what the schematic says. Maybe it'll actually work if I actually follow the instructions. So anyway, so that, wow. So I think, keep in mind, I did this late at night, so I was super tired, but I think I'm seeing a problem why this doesn't work. Because forget about this stuff not making any sense at the end. I don't think that's supposed to be there. I think that's an error in the schematic. But this circuit is broken. Right now with my fresh brain, I actually got some sleep last night, I can see the circuit is broken. I can see what the intentions are, but that is not happening. Look at the green here. What's the green doing? The green is coming from the pin. See, something is broken about this thing. What is the pin about? Why is there this 9 volt? Not 9 volt, pin 9. What are we doing with pin 9? I would assume pin 9 gives us power. And as you can see, the green wire is coming from pin 9. If these are actually vertical, then that's going to send something, I would assume, power. I don't know why we have 2 connections to power, but anyway. Send power down to this resistor and through the resistor. If these are vertical, then that means it's going to hit one end of the LED. You're supposed to have the longer leg of the LED is supposed to go on the positive side, so that would be correct. And then the other side should be the negative. So this should be connecting to negative, which apparently it is, right? So that's what this jumper is for. So this jumper takes the negative side right there, right? Jumps it over to here, to this row. That row goes to the black, and the black, as we know, is connected to the ground. So the ground looks good. So ground goes to that row, which goes to the jumper, which jumps over here, which I believe goes vertical to this leg. So now I got negative going into the LED light, and then passing down to the other side, going vertical again through the resistor, jumping over here, and then the resistor goes to this side. So that side of the circuit is good. Now we need to figure out the positive side. So we go from here, this green wire, to this. So that looks like it's good, actually. If we ignore that positive thing, which I don't know what the purpose of that would be. So let's do the full circuit. Let's do the full circuit and see if it makes sense. So pin 9. I think it's pin 9 is where, I mean, that's what the schematic says. You're supposed to use pin 9. Pin 9 is where the power is going to come out of, right? That's where you're going to be strobing it or whatever, doing your fade effect. So you got positive power coming out of the green wire, going to here, going down the road to the resistor, through the resistor, right? And then it goes, so the resistor changes the voltage. Voltage comes out the other end, goes up that row to the positive side of the LED, right? Then we're on the negative side now. Negative side goes through here. There's a jumper. Jumps from that row over to here. This row is connected to the ground. So it should work. What is the problem? I think I tried both of the grounds. See, there's 2 grounds. I tried both of them. Shouldn't matter, but I tried them. That didn't work either. So I'm not really sure what we're missing here, but this circuit actually makes sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense is the excess stuff here. This red wire connected to the 5 volts. What's that about? I mean, that's what the schematic said to do, but it's a dead thing. It doesn't go anywhere. Just, what are you jumping over to this row? Like, what's all this? What's this? What's this stuff? Look up the tutorial on fade and tell me what are those wires at the end of the board that serve no purpose. It's jumping from here to there for what? Right? It doesn't make any sense because there's nothing. It shows this stuff on the end, but then there's nothing on this row to connect to. So why are you jumping over here for? What's that about? It makes no sense. So I don't know. It's not working. I got a lot of stuff to do today. Cleaning, DMV stuff. And then I got Black Panther. I'm so excited. Black Panther I'm seeing tonight at 6. So time is flying. So I got to get going. But I'm hoping to spend some Arduino time today. But we shall see. Anyway, this is the Arduino Uno, and you are watching the Fix Protocol channel. Shout out to my CPU squad. All right, guys. Made in Italy. Italy. I want to say Italy. Italiano. Buongiorno. Tutte bene. Tutte bene. Piacere di conoscerti. All right, enough of that. All right. I forgot, what was my outro? I used to do an outro in some language. I don't even know what language. Anyway, doesn't matter. As always, have fun.